All right, everybody, welcome back to the Millennial Sales Podcast. Your host, Tommy Tahoe Alemo. This is where young salespeople come to learn everything they need to have a successful sales career. Going solo this episode, going to hit you with about 5 to 10 minutes of actionable content. Before we get there, please just throw a subscribe, Spotify, YouTube, Apple, wherever you're listening, a review. That would be super helpful. And hit me up on LinkedIn, Tom Alemo. I post just about every single day about sales and mindset. So those are the ways that you can really support me. If you dig what I have to say, throw me some love. Here's a topic for today. I'm obviously a big proponent of side hustles and financial literacy and investing and all of the things that someone should be doing, in my opinion, as part of their career. Networking, building your network, things like that. And a lot of times people think about the side hustle, we'll call it, and we'll call side hustle all of those different things like investing and networking and putting your money places and all that stuff. But the side hustle people think of like, that's how I'm going to make money. I'm going to put in an extra couple hundred, maybe even a couple thousand every single month or every year, or whatever it's going to be. And that's definitely part of the game. But maybe the more important part is using your side hustle to hedge against financial disaster. So I was inspired about, to write about this because I've seen a number of hot, quote unquote, hot tech companies, Better.com, Peloton, as of late, but there's been, dozens and dozens more, that happen every single year that, on paper look like great companies. They're growing, they got a ton of revenue, they might get a lot of funding. And then you see, a press release come out or you see an article come out and they just let go hundreds of people or they let go 20% of their staff. And nowadays, how that's happening is CEO gets on a Zoom call, all these people wake up thinking about their to-do lists and they get on a Zoom call at 10 in the morning and then all of a sudden they've got no job and they got no backup plan and they've got no supplemental income. And in a lot of cases, they're fucked. And I know that's, there's people that I've interviewed that happened to on, December 21st, they get on a call like that and they get let go with no notice. Merry fucking Christmas to them. You know what I mean? And so that happens way too often. And I think I don't have enough info on every situation. I'm not calling out any company in particular about doing that. And sometimes maybe that's the right move for the business or not. That's not my place to say today. My place in today's conversation is you, listener, because if that can happen to someone else, that could just as easily happen to you. I've got a buddy that, got laid off 2 years ago from LinkedIn, great company. He was hitting his number. He went to President's Club and there was just, nationwide hits. And I actually heard they did it at random and, like names out of a hat type of thing. And so he got let go and, happened to bounce back, but it took a little bit of time. And so that's why I think, we should be thinking about this in terms of, why we're thinking about side hustles, right? Nassim Taleb calls these types of events a black swan event, an event that is very rare, it's unpredictable, and it can be so catastrophic that it changes everything, right? Think about getting laid off. Think about what 2020 did. Think about, when there's hurricanes, when there's fires, when there's the financial crisis of 2008, when we think about what the hell's going on with Russia and Ukraine right now, all that stuff. So on their own, a black swan is unlikely to happen. A pandemic happens every 100 years or so, but there's so many of different types of black swans that it actually is quite likely that one is going to happen to you in your life. And so a few points to make. The first, usually the people that are affected by black swan events are the most financially vulnerable. They are people that are already struggling. They are middle or lower class people, or they have all of their eggs in one basket with one stream of income. It's not the CEO of a company usually that is the one struggling when a black swan happens. When there's a financial collapse, it's not Jeff Bezos that's getting hurt. It's the 100,000 people that work at Amazon that might get laid off. You know what I mean? So that's one thing. The second piece is, it is, entirely more common that this is going to happen all across the world. And so we need to play some defense. You know what I mean? And so the way that we can do that is to get the side hustle going. So whether you are, you have a side business that you're selling kombucha on the side, whether you're doing a little bit of consulting from the sales career that you have, whether you're investing your money in real estate or in stocks or in crypto or whatever it might be. There's a lot to be said about making sure that you have multiple streams of income, you have multiple opportunities, and that you're networking, right? So your network is your kind of insurance pad. So if something hits the fan, you've got tens or hundreds or dozens of people that you can go after and hit up and say, yo, something just happened. I'm looking for new jobs, right? And then people come and flock to you and to try to help you out. That's the goal. That's where we want to get to. And so if there's something to motivate you to get your ass in gear on your side hustle or on your investing or your emergency fund, don't necessarily let it be, hey, I need $1,000 more a month. Maybe you don't want $1,000. Maybe you don't need that right now. And that's fair. You're doing it as an insurance, just like you need car insurance, just like you need a good plunger in your bathroom. You likely don't know how much you need it until you actually need it. So how can we do that? If you got a side hustle idea, obviously start taking action on that, start making some money. Even in the networking game, take 7 minutes today, pick 3 people that are meaningful to you in your network that you haven't reached out to in a while, an old boss, an old colleague, someone that, an old customer of yours, someone that you listened to their podcast the other day, and shoot them a message, shoot them a LinkedIn message, a text, an email, whatever you can get, and just check in, say, hey, how you doing? I was thinking about you today. Just wanted to wish you well. Let me know. And if you do that once, it's probably nothing. But if you do that every single day, that's how you build a valuable network of people that are going to support you when shit hits the fan. So we know that just happened at Peloton and a bunch of other companies. We know it's going to happen again. And it's only going to happen more and more in the future. And so you got to protect yourself. You got to hedge. And that's the message. So get out there. If you have questions for me, go over to LinkedIn, shoot me a DM. Let me know what you think. And if you saw any value in this, if this got your ass in gear any little bit, please subscribe, like wherever you are. And we'll be back in a couple days from now with a full interview on Wednesday. Until then, peace and love, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for checking out that episode. Start of the year. Let's kick some ass. Again, one of my goals for this show is to get as many subscribers wherever you're listening here on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, etc. Subscribe, leave a review, and then hit me up on LinkedIn, Tom Alemo, or any of my other socials at Tommy Tahoe. Look forward to connecting with you there. Peace.